I'm finding this video exceptionally hard to do, and I'm not sure why. I think it's because I'm on quite a bit of medication still, so I'm a bit bleh. So pretty much, disclaimer at the beginning, this is not for anyone that I know that knows me in real life. Do not watch this. I'm talking about my vagina. You do not want to know. Trust me, you don't. It should be age restricted. I will put that on before I make this public. And next, if anyone's here to get some sexual kicks or something out of me talking about vaginas, I hate to burst your bubble, but this is not for you unless you're into that. I'm talking about them actually slicing and dicing up my genitals. There is nothing sexy about this. So audience retention be damned. You just click off, sweetie. You could be mentally scarred by this video if you're here for thrills. Just laying that out there. So I'm going to explain what I had done. I did end up with a couple of complications, so I'll talk about that a little bit. And then at the end, I'll probably talk about why I ended up with the damage, if anyone cares, but I'll do the quick version. So pretty much what I had done was all the scar tissue and adhesions were excised. My perineum was refashioned and my posterior vagina wall was refashioned, because obviously I had the tear going up the vagina slightly anyway, but by the time they'd removed all of the tissue that was scarred or adhesions or damaged or whatever, they kind of had to streamline up the vagina as well. So I have a legit designer vagina. It's like I'm 16 again and untouched by anything. I'm quite excited about that, but right now it's so swollen I'm not entirely sure I even have a vagina down there. It's just bad for now. It's like horrifying. And excuse the kids if you can hear them, they're playing the Xbox, so they're having a great time. So yeah, perineal refashioning, posterior vaginal wall refashioning, and excision of scar tissues and adhesions is technically what I've had done according to the notes I got from the doctor, surgeon person, I don't know who he was. I did have a couple of complications. I lost just over 1 litre of blood. I have anemia anyway, which I knew I had anemia, but they gave me a couple of iron transfusions when I was there. They debated giving me a blood transfusion, but I managed to get my BP up by drinking lots and lots of fluids and stuff. But my BP was quite low. I couldn't stand up or anything to start with. It was kind of funny, but not really funny. My hemoglobin levels are quite low, so I've also been sent home with iron tablets and everything. Have to go and get my blood drawn in 4 weeks to make sure my hemoglobin and iron levels aren't crazy low. So hopefully they will be all right, or I'm going to have another iron transfusion or something. I'm not really sure exactly what they're going to do, but I've got to say I like apparently losing blood, and I feel very, very, very drained and not great and in quite a lot of pain and discomfort. And I am sort of at that point where I'm like, is this really worth it? But I think it will be. It will be, because I was so miserable with the damage that I had from all the babies. It really was affecting me day to day. And I am seriously chuffed about designer vagina. I'm a bit like, woo! Which I realise makes me sound very superficial and vain and shallow. And I don't care, because I have a designer vagina. Do you? Do you know? No? So I am mainly kidding. And again, I'm blaming drugs. So I'm really, really sort of pleased that I've had it done and everything. I am seriously chuffed, but I am in quite a lot of pain. So if you think you just go in and get a nip and a tuck to feel like a teenage girl again, don't do it. It really hurts. But then I realised that a lot of how poo I'm feeling could be down to the blood loss and the anemia and everything, because I really do feel poop. It's not great, and it was a lot more stuff going on down in the lady garden than I had expected. So it's just, yeah, I just feel poop. I really do feel quite poop, but happy. So the quick rundown of how I got the operation. I had not gone to the GP for about 5 months after giving birth. I kept trying to convince myself that I didn't need to go to the GP, that it'll be fine, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. But it really, really did get to me and made me really quite miserable with other things that were going on in my life as well. I ended up feeling quite to the point that I thought, you know, this is affecting me a little bit too much. And I was in pain every day, pain and discomfort. Nothing awful, nothing like that would floor me, but it was pain and discomfort every single day. And that just, it got to me, and I just thought, this is never going to get better. I tried hoping that time would heal a little bit more, but it didn't. By 5 months, it was not any better. And I was like, enough is enough. So I went to the GP. who checked me out and was like, holy cow, woman, you don't have a vaginal opening. And I was like, no, I know. It went all the way back to my rectum and it was just open and it was horrible. And it was affecting, you know, my sex life and everything. As I said, it was horrible, really. So she referred me to a gynecologist, and it took about 6 weeks, I think, before I got my appointment through at the hospital to see the gynecologist, who checked me out and ran through like what you can and can't do, and you could be left with pain, you could be left with this, blah, blah, blah. Do you still want to go ahead? And I was like, yes, please, because I hate this. And he was like, you definitely qualify on the NHS. Not a problem. So he put me on the waiting list, and it was a good few months. I think it's been 9 months now. So it's been 4 months since I went to the doctors to get the actual operation. It felt a lot longer living it, but there you go. So I think it was, maybe it's been 5 months, maybe he's 10 months. He was born in November, so however long ago that was, and we're now in August. So maybe that is 10 months. I don't know. I'm not doing the math. So I went in 2 days ago for the operation, which is where they did everything. And so all in all, I'd say it's about 4 or 5 months from me going to the GP. So I could have been over this and healed and everything by now had I gone post-birth, but I didn't because I'm a tit. But I just kept thinking, oh, it'll get better, it'll get better. And obviously it didn't. So roughly how we got here, basically my first child, the 3 boys, I've had 5 babies, 3 are mine, 2 are surrogate babies. So 2 were for other people. Now, the first 3 I had, my firstborn, it came out like Superman. He came out back to back, so worst position for his head, with his arm all the way up like Superman, and I had a 3rd degree tear. I was taken to theatre and repaired, but obviously that left me a scar tissue and a bit of a delicate perineum. With my 2 girls, I had the 2nd degree tear, but they sewed me up, it wasn't a problem. With the first surrogate baby, I had a tear, but it was a home birth and everything. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and the midwife convinced me that I didn't need stitches. I did say, I don't really want stitches, but I'm concerned I'm going to heal open. She went, no, you won't, you're fine. I want to go home, pretty much. And so she didn't stitch me up, and I healed open, and I wasn't impressed, but it happens. In hindsight, I wish I'd gone back and slapped myself and said, no, demand it, woman. But I didn't know any better. And if a midwife tells you you don't need to do it, then you don't do it. But I've heard since that she never should have said that. She should have sewed it back together, considering it was actually a significant 2nd degree tear. And I have checked my notes because I took pictures of them before they took them away. And it did say it was a something 2nd degree tear. So quite an impressive one. So she should have sutured me, but she didn't. It happens. And then with the 3rd one, that was boy that caused damage, which was the 2nd surrogate baby, was a gestational one. He ended up being 3 pounds bigger than the babies I usually have, because the first surrogate baby I had came from my egg. 2nd surrogate baby was a gestational one, so I'm thinking genetics has something to do with it, because I didn't have gestational diabetes, and he was 10 pounds, which on its own is perfectly fine, kind of big, did kind of hurt a lot, but you know, whatever. Then the second point was he came out in 46 minutes start to finish, so my body did not have time to adjust, add in the damage that had been left from the previous boys that I'd had, and it just went horribly wrong, and I tore very badly, and I healed open. They put stitches in after I had the baby here, the second surrogate baby, but it didn't hold, and there was just too much damage at that point. So that is why I qualified for the operation in the first place. I like to think that karma kind of came in a backwards way, like I shouldn't have torn like that, I was having babies for other people, where is karma there? But hey, I got an operation on the NHS, so it didn't cost me a penny to get this done, which is amazing, and I'm hoping that the daily pain and everything is going to be gone. And talking about having any more babies, people do ask, I won't be having any more babies for anyone else except maybe David and Marius, who probably don't want one. So the chances of me having another baby are very, very, very slim. But if David and Marius decided they wanted a sibling for Seth, which is the first surrogate baby I had that was to my genetics, I would do it for them, but it would have to be a C-section. No baby will ever pass through my vagina again, ever. That is not happening. No. But that's not really anything on the cards anyway, and by the time it is on the cards, my eggs may have shriveled up and died and been old, and I won't be able to get pregnant anyway. So who knows? But chances are there will be no more babies, and even if I did have another surrogate pregnancy, which is very unlikely, it would definitely not be passing through my vagina. I'd be demanding a C-section, and those things terrify the living bejeebies out of me. I've never had one, and they sound horrible and scary and very, very big, and I don't like the sound of it, so no. So yeah, there's my massive, hugely long vagina video, but you secretly love it, and I love it because designer vagina. It's like, oh, now, hopefully, I don't know what it's like. It's a mess right now, but it's going to be amazing, right? Tell me it's going to be amazing. All right, I will speak to you all soon. I will do an update after my 6-week checkup. I'll let you know in 4 weeks if I have any problems with the hemoglobin or anything in a just chatty vlog. And Sirius and I are going to go. Go on, puss boy. We are going to leave now, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye.